Hi everyone, welcome to my review Field of Dreams from 1989, directed of course by Alden Robinson, and yes, we're back once again to discuss, once again, a truly special film today, and one that I saw for the first time very recently, and yes, really looking forward to discussing this film with you viewers of course, but yes, we must say now straight away, spoilers alert in this discussion. There will be spoilers. For example, the ending. I'll be discussing that. So yes, you have been warned. If you haven't seen this film, I recommend seeing it first and then come back to this discussion. So yes, with that said, let's try to express my thoughts because a really a truly special film. As I've said, and one that I feel so much kind of overwhelming, emotional feelings for. So it's a really hard film in a way to discuss as well, and I'll try my best to kind of express my thoughts, in a general sense on this film, and perhaps on another watch or two I could go more in depth. But yes, for now, just to kind of say my thoughts on this film, and to try and say how it kind of means so much to me, and of course clearly many people. Although this is not one of the absolute most acclaimed films in that sense. It is a very loved film, and it does get a lot of kind of praise, and many people kind of really hold this film in very high regard, and many love this film, and yes, I'd wanted to see this for a number of years, many years actually, and a few years ago as well, picking up this on Blu-ray. So I had it in my collection for a while, and yes, Christmas Eve is when I chose to watch this film, and obviously 2020, and just after my kind of power cut, unfortunately, Christmas Eve, and that kind of things got up and running again. The electric came back on. Yes, popped it in, and yes, just kind of after watching the film, and going through these emotions, and this truly magical experience, all was well, and just the feelings of hope, and just passion, and this inspiring feeling, all these feelings, just kind of really uplifting the night, and leading into Christmas Day, and really just one of them films that made my kind of my kind of Christmas, my festive season in that sense, and still looking back with very strong kind of specific feelings, remembering so much about this film, and it's a very relatively short film, but it's a really epic one, as we kind of know, in scope, and ambition, and in the end, it really delivered, that's for sure. In the final act, wow, just one of my favourite. One of my absolute favourite kind of endings in all of cinema, and in this film here, of course, I was going to see this film eventually. Kevin Costner, of course, one of my favourite actors of all time, and of course, well, Liotta in this film, and we have James Earl Jones in this film, true legend as well, and just so many different actors here. The final. Very sadly, the final film role, Burt Lancaster, and just absolute legendary actor here. And yes, we start of course with this. This film, is described as a baseball film, and I watched this film of course, and soon realised, it is, but it's more than kind of. Well, it's not exactly specifically a baseball film in a particular way, and it really is just speaking on a passion for doing what you want to do, and what your dreams are, and just trying to go ahead and chase your dreams, and even if some would call you mad, strange, and would not believe in you, or your dreams, just to kind of go ahead and do it, no matter what, no matter how kind of strange, mad, or silly it may seem, and it really goes full on with this, in the second half, and I was just so moved by this, and just so inspired, and it's a really funny film as well, hilarious moments in this, but it's in the end, a truly all-encompassing kind of family film, and a spiritual experience, very personal, and also epic and grand, and just this kind of really majestic film. This, and I think just as well, before I forget to say this, I was kind of waiting until as well the ending act to see how things would go in terms of the actual the epic nature, and I didn't want the film, for example, to kind of show massive crowds, for example, gathering, at the kind of the field, on Ray Kinsella's farm, and luckily they didn't do that. It kind of subtly suggested and kind of showed what would happen, and just genius ending there, and just perfect. This one for me is perfect, and yes, we'll start, of course, with the opening act. For me, just such kind of a film that reels me in, and draws me into this experience, and of course the kind of the sense of wonder and mystery to this. It's just unbelievable. Of course, Ray Kinsella, is this Iowa farmer, and of course 36, of age, and yes, kind of someone who we see the kind of stuff about his father, of course, as well, John, and we see this through this kind of kind of footage that's kind of used in a wonderful way to kind of set the film up, and to kind of leave that in the back of your mind, I guess, and just to kind of open with this kind of documentary style scene. It's just a really great way to open this, and from there we have nothing but kind of cinematic experience. But yes, we have Ray kind of hearing these voices, very early on, of course. He lives on this farm with his wife Annie, of course, and yes, just played by Amy Madigan, and she is just a great kind of choice for this character. Such a great performance, and so kind of charming and enjoyable. But yes, we have his wife Annie, and his daughter as well, and he lives with these on his farm, and of course this kind of family unit, and yes, he starts hearing the voices in the fields, and in the house as well, and the first kind of line that he hears is, "If you build it, he will come," and from there we have this kind of confusion, this sense of mystery, and strange feeling, first, even as a viewer, me, just kind of what's going on here, what's kind of happening, and it's very, very strange. I've never really seen too many films like this, and from then it kind of became more and more clear as the film went on, why this and that was happening. I was just kind of along for the ride, and completely and utterly from the get-go, 100%, kind of involved in this film, in the characters, in the world, in the tone, and just the dreamlike, kind of nostalgic, experience this film, was, and it really is as well, about it is exploring one of the many themes, of this, and there are many themes, in this film, and one of them being nostalgia itself, I think, and just kind of the fact that in the end we have people will come, of course, and just because they will come to kind of relive their childhood, and the kind of the innocence, and the nostalgic feelings for this, and surrounding, of course, baseball, but what that really done for relationships, for example, father-son relationships, and that is a key as well, kind of theme of this film. It really is, in the end, it's about dreams, it's about kind of pursuing them, and it's also about the meaning of dreams, and heaven, of course, as well. But it's also one of the very, very pivotal kind of messages and themes of this film is this father-son dynamic, and kind of hinging on that, kind of feeling in the end, and rekindling the kind of the feelings, of course, of this, and of course, John Kinsella, as we know, is someone who has passed away, at the beginning of the film, before this, and we have this kind of sadness to this, but in the end, just the way this kind of moved me was really unlike most films that I've seen, in this way, and just in kind of this father-son dynamic, and this kind of relationship, and this feeling. It's just such a beautiful film, this, and it's such a human experience. But yes, Ray soon starts to kind of act upon this, on these voices, of course, and yes, he builds a baseball field, and in his farm, on his land, of course, and from then we have different things happening. We have the reaction as well from Mark. Soon after that, the brother-in-law, and he kind of says, this is madness basically, and later on in the film as well, he kind of really starts to kind of push the idea, of just having to sell the farm, and you have to sell the farm, and it's just kind of it's lovely to see that Kevin Costner's character, of Ray, does not give in, and he just keeps going, and he wants to make his dreams happen, and he does not sell the farm, and in the end, the kind of prophecy, the kind of feeling of destiny as well comes into play here. The theme of destiny, the prophecy effectively comes true 100%. So it really is such an inspiring film. In the way this is kind of handled, and this whole narrative, and the way in which we go through the film, very subtle and kind of natural and peaceful build up, and then we have this kind of road trip film at times as well. Of course, Terence Mann, this author, the different clues, of course. This is one of the great things about the film. We have these different clues that Ray, and soon after that, Annie, who basically believes in him very early on, which is great to see, in a film, and it kind of avoids that, potential cliche, or trope of, no one believing the character until the very end, for example. But she does, believe in him, That's the main thing, and she kind of. She says to him, to chase this in effect, and she does, team up with him, fairly early on, and it's just great to see, and it really is, that kind of great family film, kind of feeling. But yes, soon after that, he kind of the clues take him to the author, of the film. This kind of past author, of course, and activist as well, Terence Mann, played by James L. Jones, and of course the initial meeting, is naturally confusion, and just perhaps hostility, because not knowing what's going on here, from, for example, Terence Mann, and the reaction here, is very very funny as well. It's kind of this explosive scene, and it's just this initial way of these characters meeting. It's just so perfectly done. I think the script by, of course, the director, Phil Alden Robinson, is just staggering, and I think there is so much, kind of conviction in this script, and just the way in which the actors are delivering these lines. It's just, there is so much, kind of passion from everyone involved, and of course Ray Liotta as well. Kind of playing a very very different character to what he plays, in the other films, for example, that I've seen him in. Just one of Ray Liotta's best films as well. Because we'll get to how much I love this film towards the end of my review here. But for the record, easily one of my absolute favourite films in the history of cinema, and it's one of them ultimate films as well. Just kind of encompassing so much about life, and passion, and dreams, and just a very very special one of my favourite lines, in the history of cinema, which we'll get to again towards the end of the review. But this film, is just so inspiring and so full of hope, and we have this kind of road trip-esque, feeling as well. Once, Terence, I guess, and Ray kind of team up. They're on this, search as well for the next clue in that sense, and it leads them to different points, and as well, kind of a time travel film as well, all rolled into this, very very short film in a sense, and it's got so much in this film, so much kind of packed into this, very, as I say, short film, but there's just so many moving pieces, and different styles, and just, I think, genres as well, and full of ideas, creativity, and it's kind of, as we know, very very, yeah, again, kind of. I guess it's, many people would say this, but it is very similar to the narrative of It's a Wonderful Life, and that is only 2 thumbs up from me, if done well, because just why not? I guess just such a wonderful film, and just seeing how we kind of go into this, transition into this kind of adventure film, road trip film, and then in the final act, once again returning, or a bit before that, to the original location, the farm, and all centered around this lovely, kind of idyllic location, and just kind of when the ghosts though kind of come of these baseball players, of course being led kind of centered around the one particular individual, Shoeless Joe Jackson, obviously played by Ray Liotta. These ghosts kind of figures come back, and nothing is really revealed until the end, and even then in the sense specifically there is this sense of kind of awe and wonder to this, this kind of mystery that's never kind of given up to us, and it's just kind of, it lingers on this this kind of strangeness, but really just this wonderful way of kind of subtly building this up and not revealing too much, and even in the end, the sense of wonder and a very specific feeling that you can't quite put your finger on, is kind of left intact, and it just to see these kind of players coming back, it's just such a magical kind of idea, and even more so in its execution. Just it's undescribable. This film, and the way in which it could have seemed bizarre, but it doesn't to me at all. And I just love how this is kind of this fantasy film, and this kind of time travel film. It's kind of a road trip film as well, as I say, and this team up, this kind of pairing of Terrence Mann and Ray Kinsella, and just for the record, one of my absolute favourite kind of pairings, in cinema history. And then we have Dr. Archibald Graham as well, and he's kind of portrayed in two different states, the younger self, and the Doctor, yes, Archibald Graham, and Burt Lancaster playing the kind of elderly version, and we kind of as well time travel in the film to a specific year, 1972, and this is just so wonderful in kind of how it's revealing different points of this narrative, and kind of these reveals that are just so compelling and add so much even more weight to this story, which started out very sincere, and it never is anything but sincere, and it kind of goes in kind of these into these kind of grand moments, these really massive kind of moments, and you could say it never loses the sense of that personal feeling, and it's so every single moment, every reveal, and every kind of grand moment of the film, and kind of story beat is so perfectly earned, and kind of built up and set up, and it's unbelievable to see a film where the execution of these creative ideas that are rooted in humanity, but also very, very far into the kind of fantasy feeling. It's so kind of wonderfully done, and told with such conviction, and it's so poetic as well. This film, the script is one of the best for me, in cinema, and just hearing different lines as well. The voices that he hears, throughout the film is so kind of compelling. It was so fun to see this. It's treated like, for example, It's a Wonderful Life, a similar film, Back to the Future, in that sense. I think just so kind of perfectly written, but also so fun, and kind of imbued in a sense of kind of fun, vigor, energy. I feel, and just so at the same time kind of patient. It's kind of world building, and general sense of storytelling, and the visuals of this film. Just so stunning as well. This kind of warm, kind of color palette, and seeing the sunsets in the film. Just seeing the wonderful, kind of capturing of kind of nature, and as well, nighttime. In these kind of different locations, and just perhaps further into the towns, and just. It's got this kind of perfect balance in the way locations are captured, and it never loses that sense of, kind of how the film started out. It all kind of remains, intact, and as one. In this film, this narrative, this entire experience, this spiritual journey, has such a wonderful, and entrancing flow, and it's so essential. Here, the editing to this film is remarkable. It really, really is, and just kind of as well the way in which we follow, the kind of the trail of breadcrumbs, you could say, in this film. We hear a variety of different lines in the film, and so memorable, of course. Go the distance, and ease his pain, and people will come. All this going on in the film. Each kind of leading to the next. Where will we go here? This kind of feeling and this mystery. But kind of hinting at different points earlier on in the film, and even if you kind of have figured things out, before they kind of happen in that sense. It's no less, I find, or I guess, I imagine, no less satisfying. In the end, the way this film comes together, as I say, it's like no other, and of course, the score to this film, wow, James Horner, brought me to tears, as always, really with James Horner's scores. He was one of the best composers of all time, from composers, and I think this one here is just one of his best, actually, for me, and it's truly this kind of warm, just magical score, and it's intimate at times score, but it's a really, in the end, epic score in all the right places, and just the final 10 minutes of this film, especially the last kind of 5 or so minutes, when we have that kind of meeting, of John and of course Ray, of course John being, played by Dwier Brown, so perfect, the casting here, and just this meeting here, it's such a kind of a first overwhelming experience, and kind of seeing John appear, and not referring to, though, we must know, Ray does not refer to John as Dad at first, and he does not outright kind of say anything like this, and then he does after Annie and the daughter kind of go off and give them time in that sense, and then he does say Dad. He refers to John as Dad, and then that kind of recognition that he gives him, and this kind of mutual kind of understanding here, and in the sense that at the same time, though, it's not quite the same as perhaps it would have been had he been alive, and it's so beautiful, this film. It's so moving to see that final kind of couple of scenes kind of play out there, and the game of catch that they have. It's one of the best ways to end this film. I couldn't imagine a better ending to this, and just in a general sense, one of my absolute favourite endings in cinema history. And of course, so many different kind of scenes, moments and sequences here, especially in the final act, that are so moving and just overwhelming to me. But especially I must say, particular kind of exchange here, a line, and a truly wonderful message. That I can't quite describe. How much it moved me, and just inspired me and uplifted me, and that is of course this exchange. Ray, asking his father, "Is there a heaven?" And of course, the response being, "Oh yeah, it's the place dreams come true." And just hearing that line, and just seeing these two characters exchanging that piece of dialogue, it's one of the best, one of the absolute best kind of lines, in kind of quotes, I guess, in cinema history, and it really summed up the film, and just as well through this narrative, I just found so much kind of comfort, in this, and of course Kevin Costner, just being, one of my favourite actors, and he brings so much kind of warmth and just movie magic to this film, and just like every film he's in, he gives his all, and this passion, and this kind of charming feeling from this character, of course, and yes, as well, the kind of the restraint I feel that Kevin Costner kind of gives to his roles, and he doesn't overplay them, and it's just such a perfect kind of performance here from one of my absolute favourite actors. He really is such an inspiration to me, and he himself, Kevin Costner, is someone who believes in chasing your dreams, and just to keep going, and no matter what. And in this film though, it's so kind of earned as well. We have the character at first, and different things happening. Of course, kind of hope and faith being met with confusion and kind of I guess just feeling of this appearing to be surprising, you could say, to our protagonist and to us, and just kind of exploring faith in such a kind of unique way. And in the end, though, going through this narrative is kind of this healing process for Ray, and exploring this through his father as well, John, in the end, and just this kind of well, ease his pain is one of the kind of lines as well. And it's kind of, it links into the kind of the healing process going through this, and then in the end kind of culminating with Ray kind of reconciling with his father, and this kind of comforting feeling that I got as well from this, and just kind of the feeling of putting things right in that end, in that sense, and just kind of getting another shot, at the final moments, perhaps that perhaps things did not kind of end in that sense too well, and how they did previously depart, and we have this kind of moment where we get this another chance in that sense in the final scenes, and they kind of exchange dialogue here, and there is this kind of admiration and this mutual kind of comfort from these characters, and this father-son dynamic, I feel, is one of the central pivotal kind of themes of this entire film. And it's a family film that encompasses so much. It's a road trip film, as I say, kind of a time travel film. It's a comedy, of course, and this kind of exploration of dreams, and how fantasy and reality meet, and this film really is full on fantasy at times, and it's just so investing in how it's built up, and just I think the restraint and the way in which we have this kind of patience, so perfectly done, yet as well at the same time it goes all in at just the right kind of moments, and I think I think Kevin Costner especially plays this so well, and it allows the kind of experience to be full on fantasy in particular moments, and it just works so perfectly. James Earl Jones is just wonderful in this film, and the final departing as well, of his character, Terrence Mann, it's just so emotional. It brought me to tears. He truly gave his all in this film, and hats off to him, James Earl Jones, and just so perfect. The casting here, across the board, is perfection, and of course Ray Liotta as well. Such a kind of different role for him, and I find, as I say, one of his very best. And this film here, it's so full of just hope, humanity, and just such a sincere picture. It's very epic, in scope, ambition, and just it's this full-on at times fantasy film, and it's so kind of creative, but it's so patiently, kind of built up, and so sincerely, kind of told to us through this magic medium, and it captures this feeling of magic in every single regard, and the score, the script, the acting, and the lighting, every single element, film here, working at the highest order, and delivering an ending I did not expect, and I thought as well, as I say, that the ending would have gone, perhaps you would have seen mass amounts of crowds, kind of gathering around this kind of baseball game, but it just suggested it, and at the same time, it was an epic suggestion, and it's just in that sense a perfect balance, I feel, of this personal kind of feeling, and the epic nature of the film as well. And I find through the end of this kind of film, the way in which this culminates, it brings together every single theme, father-son relationship as well, and it does it in such a way, and it's this kind of spiritual healing journey in that sense. And the pain, the regret, all of this, and the kind of sense of chasing your dreams, and just to kind of go for this, and the way in which it kind of fulfills this prophecy. All of this comes together in a way, kind of results in one of the absolute most inspiring, magical, and uplifting experiences in all of film. And is there a heaven? Well, yes, there is. If the heaven, being the place where dreams come true, as we're led to believe in this film, such a wonderful line, then yes, watching this film, yes, indeed, cinema is dreams coming true, and to see a film like this, just so inspiring, and just so essential to see this film. I find, and just I'm so glad that I watched this on Christmas Eve, and just kind of really uplifted my night, and just kind of this magic feeling. And I didn't watch a Christmas film on Christmas Eve, but I watched Field of Dreams, and I'm so glad that I did. And as for my rating, well, it's one of my favourite films, one of the most inspiring films I've ever seen, and even after first watch, I know how much I love this film. My final rating is 100% plus, tier 1, yes indeed, that's how high, I would go, and one of my absolute favourite films, definitely one of the best films I've ever seen, and it's truly a magical film. This it's so charming. It's a hilarious film at times, and satisfying. In so many ways, and just so complete. It's a fairly short film. Relatively short, and despite that, we have so much packed into this film. There's so much going on, and every single theme, message, and kind of moment, I find is so directly yet sincerely kind of portrayed, and conveyed to us as an audience, at least through my personal experience. And that's what all these videos are. Just my thoughts on on the film, said film, or kind of director, etc. But yes, all I can say is personally for me, this film truly moved me, inspired me, uplifted me, and just made me feel at ease, and just kind of this soothing, comforting feeling, like rarely any film really has given me in this specific way. And yes, the tier 1 rating, absolutely, for me, and of course just my first watch, but it feels like I've always kind of known this film. It's one of them films, yes indeed. So yes, we'll end it there. I find we can't go any further, at least on this watch. But yes, I've said what I have to say for now about this film, and we could go further, but it's nice to kind of leave some things unsaid, because it's just such a beautiful film, and very specific kind of feelings, and just a completely spiritual out of body experience. And I'm so glad that I watched this film when I did, Christmas Eve, and it's just a wonderful experience. Kevin Costner, James Earl Jones, of course, these two in particular, wow, really so wonderful. And of course, Burt Lancaster as well, sadly, his final film role, and a hats off to him as well, and just everyone involved, Ray Liotta, as well, and just Madigan as well, so good in this film, and just Dwier Brown, this very brief yet truly meaningful role, and just this way in which he gives this he creates, he kind of gives off this feeling of magic as well. It's such a special film, this, in the way all the different kind of baseball players are portrayed, including of course John Kinsella, and he is just such a great character, built up at first very subtly, and we see that of course as well, that kind of opening scene, showing the different kind of things here, and just that in the back of the mind, and culminating in such a way. We have this kind of this journey as well, kind of trying to find Terrence Mann, and him eventually teaming up with our protagonist, and just such a warm kind kind of charming and wonderful, kind of pairing for me, and to see these two guys on screen, it's just perfect. It really is how they kind of had this this perfect pairing here, and just the ending, as I say, one of the best in film history, and that final shot there, and of course the score throughout, it's just wonderful, wonderful stuff. James Horner, one of the very best composers in cinema history, and one of his best scores. And yes, Field of Dreams for me, wrapping up now. One of the finest films ever made, and truly a meaningful, and spiritual journey, and of course one that truly comforted me and inspired me so much, and just so full of hope and meaning and humanity, and just such a a perfect fantasy film as well. And yes, what a film this is. And yes, that's my thoughts. What do you think of this film? It'd be a pleasure, of course, privilege to discuss this film with you viewers in the comments if you want, of course, and feel free to leave your thoughts, and we can kind of discuss this film, from there. And yes, if you've not seen this film, and you kind of you're wondering if you should, well, yes, I would highly recommend this film to anyone, and it's just truly one of them life-changing films for me. So yes, it'd be great to hear your thoughts, and I truly had a wonderful time with this film, and it's just truly one of the most beautiful films that I've seen, and it's just so inspiring, and such a wonderful magical experience. So yes, a few reviews coming as well very soon, and just over the next few weeks, and I look forward to all this. And yes, from there, kind of the next kind of few months, I've got some plans as well, and really look forward to continuing, of course, our discussions, and yes, expressing my thoughts, on cinema, of course. And yes, hearing your thoughts is always the great kind of thing as well, to kind of experience, and just to kind of continue our many discussions on this this magic magic act, of course, this creation that is cinema. And yes, from there, all different things kind of come off of that, and form, and kind of are also created from there. So yes, as always, take care, and thanks for watching.